let's have your messages, your questions for Dr. Serebour Kweku. Clement wants to know, can I get another ballot paper if I want to change my mind after thumb printing?
Yeah, I want to take advantage of that and differentiate between a spoiled ballot and a rejected ballot.
Okay.
A rejected ballot has entered into the ballot box.
Okay.
It's only when you are going to do the recounting that you identify a rejected ballot. But a spoiled ballot has not entered the ballot box. And a ballot is said to be spoiled when, in the course of being torn off the booklet, maybe it is not properly torn, so it divides it into two or something like that. You have to be given a new one, and it will be 2 lines will be written, ruled across it and spoiled written on it. Again, the ballot paper is given to you and it falls from your hand. It gets soiled by the dust, whatever. It should be replaced. It's also spoiled by the paper. The law also allows you that you went into the polling booth, the screen. You made a choice. They later realized that, oh no, you have made a wrong choice. You wanted to vote for party A, but you have voted for party B. You come back to the ballot issuer. Once you have not put in the ballot box, then he takes the ballot paper from you, he rules lines across, write spoiled, and you are given a new ballot paper to go and cast. But you cannot go and come again that you have changed your mind again. Yes, so he's right. Once he cast the ballot, he made a choice, but he has not put in the ballot box.
Right.
He can change the mind and come for a new ballot paper.
Okay. So that is the major, big thing you need to pay attention to. Once it goes in, it's done. Yes. And it has to be counted in your favor or whatever transpires later. Dr. Echampong expressed a certain view that you may want to consider that you could stick to giving a short code, then we just check our voter status without you having to upload the entire information on online. What do you say about that?
It's a challenge, but I think the commission's lawyers and the commission will take a decision on it. But as I said, the law says that we should publish it.
Publish the register.
So in what form should it be published? So the commission will come out with the decision on that.
All right. Thank you. If you have any questions, I am taking them for Dr. Kweku because he takes leave of us very shortly. Do you have any role in how the election security, is managed? Do you have any role?
Ours is to engage them, give them the number of polling stations, the names and the locations. Then if you have any information in terms of hotspots, flashpoints, we let them know that these places are areas that we think we should improve or beef up the security. The rest is professional work for them.
Right.
They have to take charge of that.
Right. We have been used to the strong room idea, particularly for the presidential, results, and the commission chair is the returning officer for that. And the last elections, the last EC tried to demystify the strong room idea. Are there any plans as far as the strong room thing is concerned?
I would say that I don't know how the name strong room came about. It was just a small room with fax machines that just receives results. But this time around, the commission intends moving to a bigger place, but still with our fax machines to take the results in the presence of the party reps and the media. So everything will be done transparently.
Right.
So people, when the fax comes, or it is coming, they will say the fax is coming.
Right.
And they will fax dedicated to various regions. So if you see that this fax is coming from this particular region, all of us will be there to be taken for us to see the party.
Whatever is going on there, the media will be telecasting.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
So that you just, and when it comes from, let's say, this is from Manchia, the parties will see it, they will just, either they have it or they will talk to their reps at the Ashanti region or whatever, can voter region, whatever. they confirm it, then they also sign a countersign, and we go ahead and collate the results.
All right. I'm seeing very many of your messages, but it does appear too many of you are concerned with something else rather than asking the EC to explain these basic things to you. You are interested in panelists and interested in whether Samson, as the host, has some bias. Okay. Right. Now, this is from Yakubu Ibn Chambers, and he says, I think the EC has vindicated itself throughout the period of constant resistance and opposition from the various political parties. I have no inkling of doubt that the EC will make Ghana proud at the end of the day. The 24-hour declaration promise will certainly bring relief to anxious minds like mine on election day. Thank you. So Yakubu Ibn Chambers is sending us from Boga, and he says thank you to the EC. So once you have given this hope, you would know that that will be the expectation. So you have to meet it. Ras Agbenyo says, what's the EC stake on the burning of excess ballot sheets? What do you say to that?
You see, at times I find it difficult to understand a simple administrative issue that should become topical issues. The process is that a contract has been given to a printer. We have given them the quantity that we need. And the process is that they will first print the ballot papers without the serial numbers. Then they have a machine that will emboss the serial numbers. The other machine will be binding them into booklets. The other machine will be doing the packaging. So if you print 100 because you have given 100, then along the production line, something gets wrong. You have to come back and do the reprint. So at their own cost, if you say 100, they will print about 120. So that at any stage, when something goes wrong, they have printed document for them to put in.
Okay.
And the process is that at every stage, the political parties are with us. It's not by any law. The EC can decide to do the printing without the involvement of the political parties. But because of transparency, we involve the political parties and the security and the rest. So when they have finished everything, it is packaged and the parties take the serial numbers. They help us to transport the ballot papers to the district, the regions to the district. When it goes to the regions, they wait for the regions to also take delivery of them, check and convince themselves that what we gave them is what they have been printed. Okay. Then they will come back and destroy the excesses, including the rough ones and other things. So these are normal administrative processes. And I don't see why somebody could go and take coverage and see.
And that excess number doesn't have
serial numbers. At all. If it have a serial number, that means that when it was embossed on it, it got spoiled.
Right.
But most of them technically shouldn't have serial numbers.
Is there the slightest opportunity for some of that excess to find themselves into wrong hands, where somebody might try to fake serial numbers onto them for purposes of delivering at a polling station for use as voting, or maybe thumb-printed somewhere and come and dump in the lot?
Something, as I said, these ballot papers, immediately we finish, let's assume that 1 to 100 is going to voter region.
Right.
101 to 150 is going to OT.
All right.
The political parties have these serial numbers.
Okay.
They move with us to hand over the ballot papers to the region. Okay. And they are kept at the police armory. Then, in an appointed time, the district also come and pick, also under the same escort. When we are packaging them for the ballot, polling stations, we indicate that for polling station A, we are sending 1 to 3. Polling station 2, 4 to 5. All this and then, and the parties take delivery. Right. On the day of voting, on the statement of poll, you indicate that the serial number range of the ballot papers assigned to this polling station is also written on it.
Right.
And when we finish and we are doing the counting, we will also check in line with the serial numbers. So if there's a foreign ballot paper, and I want to give an example. In 2003, we did an election at Legon about the SRC. When we finished, we read that about 3,000 additional ballot papers were in. So through our normal administrative. So when we identified them, it came from Commonwealth. They said that we are criminals. For us to be able to identify the genuine ballot papers from theirs, they were rather called as criminals. So these are administrative processes that there's no way that anybody can put in a ballot paper outside the serial number range. It's not possible.
Okay.
And we have done it over and over and over. So I don't see why now, since 92, we are still fighting over ourselves.
Well, continue to give the education because it is important.
We will do that.
It is important. And the more you do it, the more we get to, as it were, encourage people to have faith in the process. And if they have issues, the more you address the issues, the more we create the room of transparency for things to be done right.
I agree with you, but you see, the issue is that let us also you should also be fair to Ghanaians. You see, there's nothing wrong. You have seen something wrong when you are telling Ghanaians. But when you yourself clear, you know that it's not the case, and you are presenting it. You know, you just facilitate the increase in tension in the country unnecessarily.
Okay. A host of things can happen to elections, you know, but once we all believe that the integrity is secured, then it keeps us at ease. I got beaten by a soldier man. I got really slapped, really bad. In 2006, I was reporting for Joy and the BBC on the by-elections in Asawasi, and I spotted 2 pickup loads of foreign ballots. The police impounded them, and yet I got slapped for nothing. I don't know what happened to that later. They impounded them. Well, there's a question. There is Digura Batinos. His question is, can I go back to stamp my ballot paper after voting and later detect that the ballot paper is not stamped? You have already voted.
No,
it's gone into the box.
No, from what he's saying, that to take the ballot paper back for it to mean that he has not put it in the box.
Okay.
So I would advise for your ballot to be secret, you have to declare it as for it. Go for a new one and ensure that it has been stamped.
Okay, so I go to the presiding officer.
No, it should be the ballot issuer. Because
the ballot issuer. And say, this is false.
Yes.
I have them printed, but it's false.
Yes, so I want a new ballot paper.
Wouldn't they challenge me and say, why is this false?
I said I've made a change of. I've already explained that you can have a change of mind.
Okay.
So you said I
see.
So you get a new ballot.
You get a new ballot.
Because if you put it in, it will be rejected because it doesn't have the validation stamp.
Right. Yes. Right. So, but how does it happen that I get a ballot paper and it's not stamped?
Like I said, it's somebody who is stamping.
Right.
So maybe oversight, whatever. It shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be, but it could be intentional. So you should ensure that it.
And is there a reason why the stamping must be done at the moment where the elections are happening?
Yes. If you stamp about 5, somebody can still stamp. So in your present, it is validated and given to you.
Great.
If you stamp and put them there, they may fall into wrong hands.
Mensa Oscar says, for how many times can one go back for a ballot paper after there is a change of mind?
I don't think you can go more than once.
Yeah, but how many times do you want to change your mind?
You go for first where I say that I've made a change of mind, then go again for change of mind, then you are not serious. And we shouldn't lose
there can be a genuine situation.
No, the law, you see, I always say that the law says that Ghanaians 18 and above and of sound mind.
Okay.
So if you are an adult and you have a sound mind, I don't think you just be changing your mind like that.
All right. So, man-like, is that your name? It says, if the EC is still going to use the manual method in collation of results, I should ask if you are going to still use manual method.
Like manual is like, we move it, hand over the documents to the collation. They will do it. They will send it to the region. Region will do, then they will fax it.
Okay.
So we are not using electronic transfer. Because before, somebody will say that if it has been hacked and whatever. Okay. So the way it is manual, nobody can hack. So people should have their peace of mind.
Okay. There's this Nasiu He says, why the EC wants to stop the filing of forms by party agents on the issue of manual verification. Why this? Do you understand what he's asking?
Yes. We have not said that what happened was that, you know, we have, if the new BVD that we are using is a camera one, at the end of the voting, it will indicate the number of people who were verified through the fingerprint, the number who verified through the facial, the number who went through the manual verification, and it will give you the total. So we were thinking that once the system will indicate, because first your picture should be scanned through the QR code for everybody to test whether this is something before you can use the. So one is something before you try the first process, which is fingerprint.
Right.
Before you go to the second one, which is facial. Before you go to the manual verification, and the machine will count it as having be verified to the machine.
Okay.
So we were thinking that in that case, there's no need for us to waste any form on that. But we have about 541 people who have not been captured in the system. So we were saying those people will then fill the manual verification. They will be captured using the source document, the Form 1A1C.
Right.
But when we made the political parties, they are saying that we should include the manual verification on the machine.
Musa Bator in Kumasi says, I don't trust this EC to do a good job, fair and balanced job. Why have they failed to publish the names of those who have been removed from the register, and almost 90% of their decisions were done without IPAC? Why? Okay, so sort of going back on old issues, but you want to say something about that?
I would say that I wish that we say whatever we say in line with the law.
Okay. Now there's a question from Ni Okpoti Soa. Can the EC confirm the COVID measures on 7th December? We are
in consultation with the National COVID team. What we are saying is that before you get to the center, you should be masked. When you are masked and you are received into the center, you wash your hand to the Veronka bucket. Every polling station has a Veronka bucket. Then we are going to mark the polling station for social distancing. Whenever you put your hand on the machine, it will be sanitized. So after finishing everything, you use a sanitizer to clean your hand. Your thermometer gun to take your temperature before you even receive it to the polling station. So all the protocols will be observed.
Okay. James says that this is a question I keep asking.